as a professional actor. Now, I'm going to share with you today my experience with Right to Work States. It's been a positive one, and it's been a lucrative one. So let me just talk about this, because coming up August 7th, here in Missouri, we're going to be voting on Proposition A. And again, you've seen a lot of no signs all over the neighborhoods. But I'm telling you, as a non-union actor, you need to vote yes to keep that benefit, to keep that option open for you. Now again, I've been doing this for 35 years. I have the experience to know what I'm talking about. And I like to do my research for series like this because I like people to be informed. Now, informed enough for you to be curious enough to go out and do the research on your own. Don't take my word for it, and don't take a union person's word for it. Now, I've got a lot of feedback from union people, and I knew I would, because they don't want you to have a choice, because again, the unions have negotiated certain things with production companies, and they want it to stay that way. The unions want to stay in control. I got that. That's why they're telling you to vote no here in Missouri. Vote no, vote no, vote no, because of this and all this other kind of stuff. So again, anyway, do your research. Don't be lazy. Get up, go to the SAG-AFTRA, website, talk to friends, and again, share this video with people who don't know. Don't go to the polls uninformed. Make sure you know what you're talking about. I do. I've been doing this for 35 years as an actor, as a voiceover person, as a model, 10 years of radio broadcasting. And yeah, I have had the opportunity of doing union work and getting paid residual income, per diems, and travel expenses. Yes, that does happen. Now, do union wages pay lower than non-union? Yes, they do. That is true. That non-union work usually pays less than union. But I'm challenging you this. Now, these figures they're coming up with the census saying that right to work states usually, with the non-union workers, they pay lower wages. But let me ask another question. Let's do the math here. Let's just say that. Now, with you being involved in a union, and I'm talking strictly SAG-AFTRA, I'm not talking about any other union because I do not have any other experience with any other unions. I don't. Since the early 80s, when I used to work out at the airport years and years ago. So I'm talking about SAG-AFTRA. How much, in dues are you paying yearly to the unions to offset that higher wage? That's something to think about. Now they want to give you all these other figures in reference to, right to work is lower, the lower wages, and even the SAG-AFTRA website says producers will pay you next to nothing if you go non-union. That's not true. Let's put everything in proper perspective. Say you're coming from a regular 9-to-5 job and you're getting into this thing called acting, the entertainment industry. This industry, if you are prepared enough and if your skill level is such that you impress the casting directors and producers and directors and the client, they'll hire you. Is $500 a day for a day's worth of work bad? How about $700? How about $1,200? I've made these figures working non-union gigs. Now, again, union wages usually pay higher, but companies also sometimes pay the exact same thing as unions do, and I've also experienced that. Now let me give you an example of who I work for, non-union. Non-union. Got to put my glasses on because I need to be able to read stuff. Okay, here we go. Now, I've worked for Amazon most recently, and it was a non-union gig. Amazon, here in Missouri. That's right, St. Louis. We have those things here. Also, Sears. That was a non-union. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now, Schnucks. Ever heard of them? Yeah, worked for them. How about Edward Jones? Non-union gigs, and they paid well. Was it less than union wages? Yes, but it's still better than what I've ever made working from some 9-to-5 job. That's my whole point. Options. I'm talking about your freedom to choose, and I'm talking about options. There is not enough work here in the state of Missouri to justify you wanting to join the union. It doesn't make sense for you to pony up 3 grand to join the union, but you can't take advantage of union jobs if they're not really here. What if you don't want to travel? What if you don't want to go to LA? What if you don't want to go to New York? Ever heard of a state called Georgia? Yeah, they now rival Los Angeles, California for jobs. Okay? Now, I've worked in 3 right to work states: Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. For those gigs, I did work union work for Sears, did a couple of commercials for Sears. If anybody still remembers Sears, I did that, national commercial work. Also, Alabama tourism as well. And let me see, what else? I did Ameren UE here in St. Louis several years ago. Okay, but that was a union gig and got paid well for it too. I am not ashamed of working hard for me and my family. I got no issues with that whatsoever. So for those who want to try to take that choice away, I don't care what you don't like about me in reference to what I say in reference to right to work is good, because I believe that it is, and I have the checks to back that up. I also have the experience to back it up. So if you don't like it, so what? You know what? That's your choice not to like it. But if you're a non-union actor and you want options, vote yes for Prop A, August 7th. Now again, let's go back to a right to work state. A right to work state allows a non-union actor to be able to be hired onto union work. That's exactly what it means, boiled right down to its nubbies. That's exactly what it's talking about. Atlanta, Georgia has the infrastructure that rivals Los Angeles, California. It does. As a matter of fact, I think I read somewhere recently where it's the #1 destination now. Why? Because of the tax credits and the infrastructure that they have. They have the professionals there. And you can work in Atlanta, Georgia as a non-union worker and never have to join the union and still get gigs there. Now, the argument has been from the union people that, oh, your favorite stars are, all these guys are, A-list actors, they're in the union. True, but if you got them alone and you talk to some of them, would they rather be paying all those union dues, or would they rather keep some of that money in their pocket? Look, I'm talking real talk here. I'm not talking hyperbole. I'm not interested in bull jiving around. I don't care about the hype. I'm talking about real work, real money, real opportunities. That's what I'm talking about. Now here, let me give you another list before I go. In Atlanta, here's what's going on in Atlanta, Georgia right now. Family Feud, hosted by Steve Harvey, is shot in Atlanta. Okay? What about this TV series or Netflix series called Stranger Things? You ever heard of that? They shoot that in Atlanta. The new MacGyver reboot series, they also shoot that in Atlanta. What about Black Lightning, starring Cress Williams? It's on the CW. That's also shot in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on. The Marvel's movie, The Avengers. How about The Hunger Games? How about The Walking Dead? How about Divergent, another feature film? And again, I already mentioned the Family Feud. So there's a lot going on there. Could this happen in the state of Missouri? It could. But our leadership has to get their heads together, and for some reason it's not going on. It's still divided here. But again, you have a chance at the ballot box August 7th to vote yes if you're if you're a non-union actor who wants to have options. Union folks, I get it. You want to stay there. You want nobody to, come in and step on what the union has already negotiated. Again, I get that. But again, and let me correct something I said earlier. Someone said no one forces you to join the union. That is correct. They just close the door in your face if you're in California, New York, and Chicago. They close the door in your face and say, unless you join us, you can't be a part of this particular project. So no, they don't force you. They just slam the door, firmly in your face and say, you can't join us unless you do this. So it's not forcing, it's just the slamming of the door. So that's what it really is. Again, be forearmed and forewarned in how to handle your business as a professional actor. That's what these videos are all about, so you will be properly informed, so you know what's happening. Again, please do not just take my word for it, and don't let the howling wolves of the union dictate to you how you need to vote. Do your own research, get your own information,